Greetings everyone and welcome back to Nariyama's Let's Play Minecraft version 1.12 featuring Direwolf 20's mod pack. So this is episode 34. I thought I'd do a really quick sort of recap of what we've been working on. So the idea has been to make some better food. And in fact, I recently logged in. You can see my food is down and I've healed up to my 7 hearts. But with one munch on some corned beef breakfast, I am up to full saturation. Oops. Meant to hit E there. Full saturation. Using strength and resistance, or get a strength and resistance buff for 3 minutes. And yeah, good stuff. So I do have a full stack. I solved a little bit the problem of overflowing my stuff here. So first of all, we've got a couple of centrifugal separators to make the tofu in. We got this sucker, which was to make was gonna make sugar, but I guess it's not pulverized; it's centrifugally separated too. But it was also making the dandelion yellow for the tofig, the tofu eggs. I put in the covered conveyor belt here so I wouldn't pick the stuff up off the conveyor belt accidentally. Let's see, what else did we do? Otherwise, not much. Mostly just, like I said, making some sugar cane here to create the sugar that we need, and otherwise we have a pretty solid backlog of ingredients here. I could probably turn all this off. But anyway, so that's where we're at. What did I pick up? Oh, and then I basically had the last thing be a trash can. So this will run forever and just trash anything once it fills up on all the cabinets there. So let's take a look at where we're at here. So we've got automatic resource generation, which we have enough rhodium crystals now to upgrade that, which I will probably do in the next episode or two. We have automatic mob farming. We've got some really nice food generation going on down here. This is going to be a challenge to automate. Actually, I've got some ideas for how to automate the cinnamon tree, but I'm not entirely sure, so we'll have to see. And then I think we can automate this in one of the thermal machines, but so that automating the corned beef breakfast is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think we can get there. Right now, I think we're in a pretty good position. We need to maybe up our power production a little bit. I did turn on the tree farm again. Because I think the next thing we're going to do is start automating the ingredients to get a wither, which means we're going to need soul sand production, which is not terribly difficult. And actually, one of the things that I've been meaning to build for a while now is a resource miner as well as the ore miner. I think that's going to be next episode's tasks are going to be to upgrade the ore miner and to create a void resource miner. But I think the next task for today is to get wither skeleton skull production going, which basically means we need to spawn a bunch of wither skeletons. So there's really 3 resources that are generally difficult to get for mobs and that you need a lot of. So there's blaze rods, which obviously you need to kill blazes for. There's wither skeleton skulls, and then there's ender pearls. So if you'll notice, I've got 3 mob imprisonment tools here, 1 for each. So an enderman, a wither skeleton, and a blaze. The other thing we might want to get is a ghast imprisoned, but I'm not sure if those will fit inside my little mob spawner over here, so I might have to do some major reconstruction to fit a ghast in there. because I think they're 5 by 5, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I think this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to get some mob duplicators going, and I'm going to show you a setup for doing liquid production and then consumption. So one of the challenges is sort of organizing your resources so that you can easily both produce and consume things that you need to do so. So for example, you might have a bunch of things that require water. You could create a water supply thing and then have also a water delivery sort of setup. And really, it makes a lot of sense to organize them that way. So if you recall, a little time back, I talked about like a production and consumption of stuff like, well, water being a good one, but lava would be a good example, or in this case, liquid experience, right? So what we're going to do is we have two different places that are producing essence for us, right? So we've got this mob crusher is producing essence. We got the one in the nether. What we'd really like is for those to go into sort of a central essence collection, and we actually do have that. So if we go to the nether base, you can see we've got the ender tank set up here. It's going into a portable tank, and then we're voiding any excess, right? So no worries there. But we're going to actually start using this, so I'm going to kind of well, I mean, we can still void excess there, but the idea here being that what we will do is we'll collect it in one of these portable tanks, and then we'll have another set of ender tanks that will actually be our supply for this, right? So what we'll do is we'll create an ender tank, and we'll give it a slightly different color, right? So this is green, green, green. What we'll most likely do is green, green, white, or green, green, black, one of the two. And really, the way to sort of choose between those two is which do you have more of. And in this case, white makes a lot of sense because we have, basically as much bone meal as we can get our grubby little paws on. So why don't we do that? So first, that's really the first step, is to set that up. So I'm going to actually break this, and we're going to place the green, green, green ender tank. Where should we do this? This is a good question. Let's keep it on this wall, but let's put it a little higher up. So green, green, green goes there. Okay. And then we're going to take our tank here. We'll pick that up. What can I get off my hotbar? There we go. Probably don't need this for a while. Pick up our fluid ducts, pick up our tank. Okay. So this is going to go here. Stick the fluid duct there, hit the ender tank's valve. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to put another hardened fluid duct here. Let's get a servo. Let's make a stack of those, or as many as we can. Okay. And then let's do, can we get a reinforced maybe? Yeah. Alright, so let's put a reinforced servo on here. And then what we want is we want our other ender tank. But we still want to have the same sort of basic color. So this was lime, if I remember correctly. Do I have some lime wool still? We got green wool. That's not the same thing. I might need to go shear some sheep. Let's see here. Shears? Shears. Alright. Let's go shear some sheep really quick. I'm going to go grab some wool from some sheep, and I will be right back after I do that. All right, we're back. I'm just outside my food production area here, and of course in the magical wood there's always lots of animals, so here we go. Let's go ahead and head back to the Nether, and we'll get this party started. All right. So we got plenty of wool now. We need some of that cactus green. And I've already got the bone meal here. So that'll get us the lime dye. Alright. So we're going to want at least, I'm going to say 3 of these, right? So we want the one that's here in the Nether, and then we want 2 in the different spots. Probably actually only want 1, now that I think about it, so that's okay. Throw those in there. Let's open this up. We need a cauldron. We'll just make 16 of them. Yay. Okay. But what we want to do is we want to supply, or we want to have it be our, what you call it there. Okay. Now, you know, I've showed you how to make the ender tank sort of as is. But what I haven't showed you is how to change the color of the things once you've already made it. So basically, each of these can be colored individually. So I can hit this with any kind of dye, bone meal being a dye, and there we go. Now they're linked, right? And they're not the same as the supply one, which is good because we don't want to pull directly from the supply. We want to pull from this one. So we're going to set the servo to go ahead and fill that up, and we'll lose a little bit of our 1,000 buckets of essence backlog, but that's okay, and we won't lose it. It'll just flow into here. All right, so now this sort of pattern is actually a really good one. So if we had, say, something that was collecting lava for us, we could put the lava sort of supply here into a tank, into a lava, a lava distributor here. Similarly, we could do the same thing if we wanted to do like fuel, or if we wanted to do something like gelicryothium. Right over here, we've got gelicryothium being used here, but we've got this whole like production chain above it, directly above it, that really doesn't need to be there. What we could do is we could put this production chain somewhere else, and then have the sort of ender tank, ender tank, and then have the thing that's using the gelicryothium here. Because notice we're storing a whole bunch of gelicryothium plus cryothium dust plus cryothium dust plus blitz. I mean, there's tons of resources that are sort of sitting here not being used, mostly because we haven't set up a nice way of managing it. So it's just something to keep in mind. Anyway. So now we have essence supply. Let's go ahead and go make our mob duplicator. So we're going to make 3 of these. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we need some, so we're going to need some fluid ducts. Let's make it harden just because. There we go. And now basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go and stick this under the mob spawner. So let's go check that out really quickly. It might be night there, so we'll probably go ahead and go to sleep. Yeah. All right. So the first thing we're going to want to do, obviously, is turn off the mob spawner, right? So let's go ahead and do our whole, throw some liquid in there. All right. Now, we need to go underneath here. Now, one way we could do this is just pull directly or tap directly off of here. But, again, that sort of invalidates the whole supply side versus distribution side kind of paradigm that we got going here. So let's see. That seems wrong. So this is the level of the floor. Ah, that's why. Okay. We put a whole thing there. All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So under the wall. Then 1, 2, 3. We actually need to go one more. Okay. And that should be dead center, so we're going to go 2 over. All right. So this should be the center of where we're going here. Okay, let's open this up, show working area. Ooh, it does spawn beneath it. I'm not sure I like that. Let's see if that pops up here too. Doesn't look like it. Okay. What if we went up 1? Show working area. So that's 2 blocks below it, and yep, 2 blocks above it. Okay. All right. I'm not entirely enamored with the whole 2 blocks below and above, but I think we can work with it. So let's... All right, folks, we're about to get wet on this ride. Okay, so if we go in, we should see that there's 3 mob duplicators, 1, 2, 3, right in a row. Okay, so what we want is we just want a little bit of an area extender to spawn these. Let's get something that's a +1, because I want to kind of see the edges here. Which, by the way, this is going to spawn stuff in here, so we're going to have to make sure that that doesn't happen. Alright, let's head back to the nether. Set. Go. I'm going to get a couple of different range upgrades. I'm going to get a +1, a +2, and a +3. I'm going to get 3 of each. So at foregoing, I want a range add-on tier 0. I think is really sort of the +1. Range add-on tier 1. And a range add-on tier 2. I think at best I'm only going to need one of those, so let's make 2 of these and see if that does what I think it does. I'm just sort of, checking this out at this point. Trying to make sure I get the right range, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have the spawning monsters outside your enclosure, right? That would be bad. So we really don't want to get lots of blazes and wither skeletons just running amok in our thing here. So let's show the working area. Okay. Now let's put a tier 0 in here. Now this... Yeah, okay. Alright, so the tier 0 is sort of +1. So I think that's the correct one. We want a tier 1 in that one. And the reason is it's going to go right up against the wall on this side, and it'll leave a couple of things blank on that side, but that's okay. And we'll do the same thing on the other side with the tier 1, and then we'll put the tier 2 in the middle. So tier 1, tier 2. There we go. All right, we can hide this now, I think. All right, but it's important to note that you know there mobs could spawn down here if we leave enough room. So we're gonna have to kind of make use of our bat form to really do this. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stick the ender tank here. All right. We're gonna stick our hardened fluid ducts. And we're going to put a servo. Do I have a servo in here? I might. Hey, I have a Signalum servo. That should be plenty good. All right. Ignored, and we should be getting essence in all of these. Perfect. Okay. Now, there's a couple other things we might want to do here. So we could make this always active, which means these will produce mobs forever. The other thing we could do with this is make it active only on a redstone signal, which I think that's probably our best bet. But we've got a bit of a problem here, and that is how do we get a redstone signal into here? So what we need are structural ducts, if I remember correctly. Yes. Oh no, it's not structural ducts. Is it redstone? Structural duct. Okay, here, let's see what it says here. Duct. Alright, so that does blocks, provides structure, sure. Energy, flux duct. That's not what I'm looking for. Item duct. Again, not really what I'm looking for. May not be. That might not be what I'm trying to find here. So basically, I know there's a thing that you can do to stick onto ducts to give them the ability to carry a redstone signal. I'm not sure. Ah, there we go. Redstone relay. That's what we need. Okay, let's head back to the nether base and let's check this out. Redstone relay. Can I just get a couple of those? Awesome. All right, and then let's get a lever. You know what might really be helpful here is some. It's like a redstone. Is like a redstone lamp. There we go. Okay. So this is really kind of neat. I'm going to sort of show this off, all right? So if I have a thing here, and I throw some fluid ducts here, and on this end I put a redstone relay, right? I do the same over here. Okay, so I'm going to set this one to output. Scaled is fine. We'll just do scaled, that's fine. And it's on red. Now what that means is I can change sort of which color these do. So this is input. Let's stick a lever down here. Right? If I turn this on, notice this didn't turn on because this has the red color and this is green. Now if I go back to red, notice now it's on. So basically what this is doing is let me send a redstone signal down this fluid duct, right? Now, you know, if I threw another few redstone lamps here, redstone lamp. Oops, llama. Lamp, there we go. 1, 2, okay. So I could have these set up like this, right? And the whole idea here, give me some more redstone relays. Okay, so I've got and I need some more levers just to show this off. Alright, so let's say this one's red, this one's green, and this one's brown. This one's red, this one's green, this one's brown. So let's once again set that to output, set this to output. Now, depending on which lever I switch on, I'm going to turn on one of the lamps, right? So this really gives me some fine control. All I need is something that's connected with some sort of ducting. It works for item ducts, it works for fluid ducts, and it works for flux ducts. And like I said, it works for structural ducts, but we don't need that because we have the fluid ducts right there, so we might as well use them, right? Now what we don't have to do is we don't have to do hardened fluid ducts the whole way, because that would be wasteful, right? So what we can do is we can do structural ducts, and as long as the structural ducts connect to the fluid ducts somewhere, that'll work. So let's do that. Structural ducts. There we go. I know I sound like I'm saying duck, not duct. I need to enunciate. There we go. Okay. So let's pick all this up and we'll head to the mob spawner. Now it's interesting. I could use this to also turn on a light inside the spawner, which, you know, if I didn't want to do my whole trick with liquid starlight, that would be a good solution as well. All right. Let's go set this puppy up. Oh, let's go ahead and sleep. And we don't really need to, but, you know, always like working in daylight when I can. So what I'd like to do basically is have, say, 3 switches, 1, 2, 3, right here, that turn the stuff on and off. So I think we can probably do that. I don't know if I can put a lever on marble. Can I? What if I go down here, break this stuff, and put my structural ducts here? Structural ducts here. There we go. Then I should just be able to go like that. And then if I put my relays here, now what's nice is this works because I'm pushing into the things and not having to pull out of them. It would be much harder if I were pulling out here. So the reason for that is I would need something like a servo or something like that on them, and then I'm not sure I can put a redstone relay on top of a servo. So I might have had to use a different face of the block, and since, you know, the stuff up there is cursed earth and the stuff down here, yeah, it just would have been awkward. Okay, so output scaled red, output scaled green, output scaled brown. Okay, so we're going to have all of these be active on redstone signal. Okay, active on redstone signal. And they need power too. Oh, I completely forgot they need power. Oh, I know what I can do. So there's actually a way to do combined fluid and power, or combined item and power, which, let's see. At thermal. Signalum-plated. So what I want is a signalum-plated fluid duct. That's what I'm looking for right there. So you just need hardened. Oh, this is easy. Let's do this. I need exactly 3 of them. Sweet. Okay. Now all we need is a power cube, which I think we have one in here. Yeah, and those are like, yay! Okay. Let's go back and get this started. Set. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have those fluid ducts be both fluid and power. Which is a nice little, you know, space-saving technique for you. I think I can swap them out just by hitting them like this. Nope, that's not what needs to happen there. Okay, so we'll just break those. Whoops. Same thing. Where's my Signalum servo? Goes there, turns on. My redstone relays go here. Brown output. Green output, and red output. Okay. Now we can just set a power cell here. All sides to out. Throw the link ID 1 card in it. And poof, Bob's your uncle. We should have all of these with power. Sweet. So we're getting essence, we're getting power, and we've got a way to turn them on and off. So if I did everything properly here, who knows, right? I should be able to set these in here, and we're going to go blaze, wither in the middle, and ender on the side. So blaze, wither in the middle, ender on the side. So now these have power, but they don't have a redstone signal yet. This is where we need our 3 things here. Okay. Whoops. This is making my life hard. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do red input, green input, and brown input. Perfect. All right. So let's clean up the spot there. We're just going to kind of, now we're going to make this as solid as we can. Whoops. There we go. As solid as we can, because like I said, those spawners will spawn stuff underneath them. So I mean, I guess it's sort of designed to be able to be used in both the roof and or the floor of a spawner like this. All right, so let's, actually we don't really need to do anything else. We can leave this going. Let's turn on the blazes. There they are. Very sweet. Check it out. All right, and we should be seeing lots of blaze rods coming in there. Sure enough. Blaze rods, sulfur, the works. You got it. All right. Let's turn on the Enderman. This might not work as well because there's liquid there. They may teleport out, but I'm hoping they don't. All right, good. So far, so good. And wither skeletons. There they go. Awesome. All right. So this looks like it is working well. My only concern might be how much power it's drawing. I don't know how much power it takes for each of those. So why don't we go see if we can find out, shall we? Let's go to bat mode. There we go. I'm really just wanting to see if I can check out how much it takes. Looks like it's taking about 80 RF per shot, which that's nothing. The Ender IO spawners take quite a bit more than that, so I'm happy with that. Let's throw a thing on there. We'll shut that off, and that's good. All right. So let's see if we're getting Wither Skeleton Skulls, shall we? Actually, we have a thing over here. So it's getting pretty close to the wrapping up point for the episode. Let's just check this out and see if we're getting what we want. So Wither... Oh yeah. 16 so far. What am I getting? Oh my, that's annoying. Alright. Getting rid of some of the stuff that I accidentally picked up. That time I didn't accidentally pick it up. I deliberately picked it up. Alright. So cool. So we just looked at it. It had 16 Wither Skeleton Skulls. Let's take another look. Still at 16. Alright, well. Maybe it's just taking a little while. Let's give it a few minutes. I'm going to give it a couple minutes and I'll come back and we'll see if it's actually working the way we want it to. Alright, we're back, and if you saw there, it just ticked up. We've gotten a couple more skulls, so it is working. It looks like we're getting a whole lot more Wither Dust than we are Wither Skeleton Skulls, but that's okay. So let's go take a look and see how all the stuff that we have done is going to help us out. So the whole point here, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, the reason we're doing this is because some of these mob drops are easier to get than others. You know, like I said, you know, Ender Pearls are a pretty rare drop. Plus, there are other things that Endermen give us that would be nice to have. So we're going to go ahead and get those. We'll go ahead and take the lights down, start spawning regular mobs. We're going to get all kinds of sound from there. Might want to get a sound muffler for that particular spot. But anyway, we need those mob drops. And in particular, we need the Wither Skeleton Skulls so that we can start automatically spawning and killing the Wither. Now, ooh, yeah, we're getting Enderman popping out of our trap there. So there's an item in Ender IO that we can make that will prevent this. But I'll show that maybe next episode. Because, yeah, we definitely don't want our Endermen escaping. Yeah, we went to all this trouble to make a nice little trap for them and disable all the other mob spawns, and now they're getting out and running amok. So let's not let them do that. Anyway, I'll set that up and I'll show you probably next episode how that works. But now we have Wither Skeleton Farm, or Wither Skeleton Skulls Farm going. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good Wither Skeleton Skulls and get the Wither spawned and be able to use Nether Stars in automatic recipes. That would be really cool, right? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Next time, we'll be talking about some more environmental tech, showing the resource miner and the next level ore miner and all that good stuff. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.